Module 5, Avoiding Danger. At the onset of any potentially dangerous situation on campus, getting students out of harm's way is everyone's top priority. Avoiding danger revolves around two basic choices: evacuate or lockdown barricade. The situation could be a fight on campus, a fire, smoke, or any other safety concern. Whenever it is possible to do so, school staff should consult with school administration, their SRO or SSG, in determining the most appropriate response to a given emergency. However, during life-threatening situations, teachers and staff can and must make decisions about lockdown barricade or evacuation on their own, as they may be forced to do so to save lives and reduce injuries. Remember, the decision must be based on what you know to be true about the location and the nature of the active threat. Making a split-second decision about whether to evacuate or lock down and barricade in a life-threatening situation is understandably frightening. How will you know what to do? There is unfortunately no standardized response, as each situation will be unique, dynamic, and chaotic. However, some general guidelines will aid you in making good choices. Evacuation does not automatically mean to exit from a building. To evacuate means to remove someone from a place of danger to a safer place. Here are some guidelines and examples of how or when an evacuation may be an effective choice during a life-threatening situation. Evacuation from a hallway or a common area to a nearby classroom that can be secured from the inside, locked and or barricaded, because there isn't time or safe passage to evacuate further away from danger. If outdoors or not inside a classroom, you may look for another common space on this campus and go inside. This could be at your school's media center, an office, a closet, or any other building or even bathroom if that is your only option to hide. Somewhere that you can hide, anywhere will do. If you find yourself in a bathroom, quickly enter a stall and step up onto the toilet seat and crouch down so that your head and feet cannot be seen from outside the stall. Evacuation from a cafeteria, where a lockdown is not possible, into a safer room that can be secured from the inside, or you may need to leave the building entirely to get to safety. Evacuation from a gymnasium, where a lockdown is not possible, into a safer room that can be secured from the inside, or you may need to leave the gym entirely to get to safety. Evacuation from an athletic field, exterior commons, or other outdoor location to a further remote external location, or completely off campus. For example, if an active shooter is observed entering a building and you are outside the building, an exterior or off-site safe place would be the best choice. Decisions must be made based on what you know about the location and nature of the threat. You should not leave a relatively safe space for the vast unknown. In an active shooter, active threat situation, you should only evacuate the building if the location of the shooter is known and there is an exit that is easily accessible. Consider that the offender will likely be moving from building to building, through hallways, or going room to room. Administrators, teachers, and staff should identify pre-designated rally points and reunification points should an evacuation become necessary. Here are some important things to remember about safe and rapid evacuation. Leave your personal belongings behind. They slow you down. When evacuating from a life-threatening situation, you should run, do not walk. Visualize possible escape routes, including physically accessible routes for students and staff with disabilities. Avoid elevators and escalators. Avoid gathering together in large groups in wide open spaces. Alert and take others to refuge with you, but do not stay behind because others refuse to go. Call 911 when safe to do so. Staff should also activate Crisis Go to alert authorities and communicate with the campus community. Students should tell a responsible adult where they are when safe to do so. If evacuation or escape becomes necessary, you should try to do so by any means necessary. Think both traditional and non-traditional routes. In a life-threatening situation, anything that will get you to safety is a viable option. Any and all exit doors, hallways and corridors, fire doors, emergency exits, loading docks, shipping and receiving areas, employee doors and access points, or areas normally restricted to staff, breaking a window, dropping out of a window, punching a hole in a sheetrock wall. Thus far, we have discussed situations in which you should evacuate, run, and hide. However, what does a safe evacuation point or hiding place look like? This will look different in virtually every school building. Knowing where to go when running away from a threat is as important as knowing when to go. Finding a place where you are out of sight is important. We will call this concealment or camouflage. However, you'll also want to find a place that can protect you from physical injury if possible. We refer to this as solid cover, which is always the best place to hide if available. Concealment may hide you, but will not always protect you. Shrubbery, plants, tall grass, wooden fences and ornamental landscaping, sheetrock walls, cardboard, plastic, anything with a hollow core and is easily compromised by force. Cover can keep you safe from physical harm. Cover can provide protection in varying degrees to flying projectiles, objects, or vehicles. The best hiding place is one that can protect you from any physical harm, like parked cars or buses, near the motor or the wheel. Solid objects, concrete walls, and planters. Stairwells, solid building architecture, large trees or other thick wooden structures that you can get behind. Solid buildings or structures. Whether you have locked down or are in the process of evacuating, you will likely encounter arriving law enforcement officials at some point. Their primary mission upon arrival is to locate and neutralize the threat in order to prevent further victimization. Law enforcement officers are trained to bypass the wounded if there is an active threat occurring. This is not because they do not care. Rather, it is to engage the threat and put an end to the violence that is occurring. Rescue and care for those who are wounded or who cannot self-evacuate will occur at the absolute earliest opportunity. It is very important to remember how to interact with arriving law enforcement. Students and staff must display empty hands with open palms, keeping your hands up near your head with your fingers spread apart, and that you should always obey the instructions of arriving law enforcement. During the incident, should you come across a weapon that is discarded or dropped by the perpetrator, do not handle or pick up the weapon. This may cause responding law enforcement to mistake you for the shooter. You may opt to cover the weapon with a trash can and to stay with it to point it out to police, but only if it's safe to do so. Remember, the campus will be an active crime scene. We want to avoid disturbing potential evidence to the extent possible.